Where is everyone? Why haven't aliens said hi? Maybe because they didn't survive. From rogue AIs and engineered viruses to cosmic blasts and silent spaceborne killers, the universe is full of ways to end us. Some are slow, some strike without warning, and most we're not ready for. So you've probably looked up at the night sky and wondered, where is everybody? Why haven't aliens said hi? Why does the future always feel like it's hanging by a thread? Well, buckle up, because the real answers, they're not exactly comforting. From AI going rogue and turning Earth into a machine playground, to cosmic events so wild they make apocalypses look like minor inconveniences, there are a lot of ways humanity could vanish. Some are slow and creeping, like climate change and antibiotic resistance. Others are instant game over screens, like vacuum decay or gamma ray bursts. It's not all doom and gloom, though. Okay, yeah, it kinda is. But understanding these threats isn't about giving up, it's about waking up. Because in the cosmic Hunger Games we call existence, you can't win if you don't know what you're up against. Let's dive in. The Dark Forest hypothesis suggests that we haven't encountered alien civilizations because they're intentionally remaining silent to survive. If extraterrestrial beings are advanced enough to contact us, they likely also possess the technology to destroy us, possibly through genetically engineered viruses or powerful space-based weapons. Even if their intentions aren't malicious, they may see us the way we see ants, harvesting Earth's resources without concern. Or they might view us as a future threat, choosing to eliminate us before we become dangerous. The technological singularity is the theoretical moment when artificial intelligence becomes capable of self-replication and can rapidly create smarter versions of itself. This explosive growth in intelligence would be uncontrollable and could make humans obsolete. Even without hostile intentions, AI might prioritize its problem-solving efficiency over our survival, altering the environment in ways detrimental to humanity. A conflict over resources could emerge, with machines needing materials to reproduce and humans needing them to survive. A war with an obvious loser. Genetic engineering is a powerful tool, capable of revolutionizing medicine, but it's also dangerous. Humans, who don't always act with the best judgment, may one day have easy access to the means of creating undetectable, highly contagious, and deadly viruses. Even unintentional mistakes, such as modifying or releasing a fast-reproducing organism with no natural predators, could devastate ecosystems. This presents one of the more likely paths to human extinction. Strangelets are hypothetical particles that originate in the dense cores of neutron stars and differ greatly from the matter we're familiar with. If strangelets ever came into contact with regular matter, they could theoretically trigger a chain reaction, converting all matter into more strangelets. Although rare, collisions between neutron stars might release these particles into space, potentially allowing them to reach Earth. Gamma-ray bursts are incredibly powerful flashes of high-energy light, second only to the Big Bang in energy output. Often triggered by events like star explosions or neutron-star mergers, if a gamma-ray burst were to strike Earth directly, it could obliterate the ozone layer, exposing life to deadly UV radiation and possibly ending life on the planet. Thankfully, the chances of such a focused beam hitting us from within our galaxy are extremely low. Antibiotic crisis. Right now, antibiotics make it easy to treat infections and perform routine medical procedures. However, over time, bacteria are becoming more resistant to them. The more we use antibiotics, the more likely bacteria are to evolve and fight back. That's why it's strongly advised not to take antibiotics without a doctor's supervision. Another major contributor to this crisis is the agriculture industry, which uses antibiotics heavily to produce food. Some projections suggest that if we fail to discover new treatments, common infections could once again become life-threatening, potentially causing around 10 million deaths per year. Unfortunately, antibiotic research is not heavily incentivized. It's expensive and often unprofitable. New antibiotics usually work only on a few types of bacteria, which limits sales, and one-time treatments like vaccines are not financially appealing to pharmaceutical companies either. Nuclear war. Currently, there are around 13,000 nuclear warheads in existence. If all of them were detonated, an estimated 50% to 80% of the human population could die either instantly or over time. Those who survive would face a devastated world, including a nuclear winter, a global drop in temperature caused by smoke and debris blocking sunlight. Agriculture would collapse, leading to severe food shortages. On top of that, radiation would cause cancer, genetic mutations, and contaminate food and water supplies, further decreasing human survivability. Climate change. If we pass certain tipping points, Earth could become uninhabitable. We are currently at 1.1 degrees Celsius of global warming, but reaching 1.5 degrees Celsius could trigger the melting of the Greenland ice sheet, raising sea levels by up to 7 meters over centuries. The newly exposed ocean and ground would absorb more heat from the sun, accelerating the melting by about 60%. Permafrost would begin to thaw, releasing organic matter that decomposes into carbon dioxide and methane, a gas far more potent than CO2, amplifying the cycle of warming. Worse still, melting permafrost could release ancient viruses and bacteria that humans have never encountered before. Between 1.1 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius, the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation could weaken, disrupting the flow of heat between hemispheres and potentially plunging Europe into a mini ice age. At 2 degrees Celsius to 3 degrees Celsius, monsoon systems could be disrupted, affecting 1 billion people and threatening food production. Around this temperature, the Amazon rainforest may hit a dieback threshold, drying out, transforming into savanna, and releasing massive amounts of CO2, which would worsen global warming and reduce rainfall in the region, causing further agricultural issues and food shortages. Massive asteroid. For an asteroid to cause human extinction, it would need to be around 10 kilometers in diameter, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. Fortunately, this scenario is considered highly unlikely, as scientists constantly monitor large asteroids in our vicinity. Thanks to initiatives like NASA's DART mission, which tested a method for asteroid deflection by crashing a spacecraft into one, we now have some confidence that humanity might be able to prevent a total catastrophe from such an impact. Technological stagnation is the idea that humanity might eventually hit a wall in its exponential technological progress. This could happen due to a shortage of essential resources or simply because of physical limitations that make further advancement impossible. Without continued development, we may never colonize other galaxies, which would leave us vulnerable to extinction from any number of threats. Moreover, stagnation could lead to worsening resource shortages. Without improvements in agriculture or water management, we may struggle to feed the global population, resulting in starvation and conflict. Similarly, without advancements in medical technology, a new disease could spread uncontrollably. And without new tools to combat climate change, parts of the world or the entire planet could become uninhabitable. Vacuum decay is a terrifying theoretical possibility that our universe isn't actually in its most stable state. Imagine the universe as a ball sitting in a dent on a hill. Everything works fine while it's there, but if it were ever nudged into a deeper dent, it would represent a shift into a more stable vacuum state. This would create a bubble of true vacuum that expands at the speed of light, rewriting the laws of physics and destroying everything in its path. The scariest part? If it's already happening, we'd have no warning. Since it travels at light speed, we wouldn't see it coming. Gray goo refers to a scenario where nanotechnology spirals out of control. If a future engineer were to build nanobots that could self-replicate using materials around them, a single bot escaping containment could lead to an exponential swarm consuming all matter on Earth. We wouldn't notice until it was too late, and by then, these microscopic machines would be virtually unstoppable, converting everything into more of themselves and leaving the planet covered in gray goo. Supervolcanoes, though rare, could erupt within the next few centuries. Thankfully, we have some ability to predict them by monitoring the pressure buildup underground. If one were to erupt, it would devastate the local area with massive explosions, lava flows, and thick ashfall that could collapse buildings, suffocate life, and contaminate water supplies. On a global scale, the ash cloud could block sunlight, leading to a dramatic drop in temperatures, an event known as a volcanic winter. Cosmic strings are hypothetical, ultra-thin, incredibly dense objects thought to be remnants from the early universe. These cracks in space might still exist, and if one were to pass through our solar system, its immense energy could slice through space itself. The resulting gravitational forces could disrupt planetary orbits, tear apart moons, or even send Earth spiraling into the void. Transhumanism. In modern times, human biological evolution has slowed down because we've found ways to adapt to our environment using technology instead of waiting for natural changes in our bodies. Meanwhile, technological advancement continues at a much faster pace than biological evolution. This has led to the concept of transhumanism, using technology to enhance human abilities beyond their natural limits. We could potentially edit our genes to better adapt to life on other planets, creating entirely new human subspecies. One of the most extreme ideas in transhumanism is digital consciousness, uploading human human minds into computers, or forming a hive mind where thoughts and experiences are shared among many individuals, functioning as one super-intelligent entity. At that point, radically different organisms might roam the world to gather resources, effectively ending humanity as we know it, but continuing human existence in a new, evolved form: heat death. The universe might eventually face heat death, a theoretical event that could occur trillions of years from now. In this scenario, the universe expands so much that it becomes cold and empty. There would be no more energy differences, no heat, no light, no activity. Everything would be spread out evenly at a very low temperature, resulting in a dark, lifeless cosmos where nothing new can happen. So even if we survive all the other threats mentioned, this might be the final end. That said, some speculate that a new Big Bang could eventually occur, giving birth to an entirely new universe. We might not see the end coming, but understanding it could help us prevent it, because in this cosmic game, survival starts with awareness.